Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Madam President, first of all, very happy to see you once again, although virtually. First of all, I'd like to pay tribute to the victims, to the families of the opponents to the regime, MEK members and supporters, and all Iranians who were and are loyal to the principles of non-negotiable freedoms and democracy in your country that does not deserve oppression, repression, and all forms of unequal treatment, like denying to Iranians COVID vaccines that in my country, that in hundreds of countries in the world are saving human lives. So full sympathy to the victims of the executions, in particular those ordered in '88 and implemented under the so-called Group of Four that included the designated by Khamenei as current president of Iran. Any person paying with his or her life because of a fight for non-negotiable fundamental rights is forever a source of inspiration for the new generations. Now I would like to say something that has not been said yet. The first action of the new government of Iran shows significant and clear continuity with the predecessors. For example, on the appointment of the new foreign minister. He served as a deputy foreign minister under Ahmadinejad, under Rouhani, then as advisor of the president of the parliament, till the appointment as foreign minister under the current designated president. Could someone has doubt on the sometimes affirmed differences between so-called conservatives and reformers? I have no doubts. It's always the same story. It is always the same regime. And so, as confirming the new foreign minister closeness to and dependent from Quds force, when he said few days ago, this month in August, I quote, "In foreign policy, I will continue the path of Qasem Soleimani, whose everybody in the world knows his hands were surely bloody hands." This phrase is the confirmation of a key element concerning the new government and the new composition of this government. I think another thing important to be taken into consideration, the most blatant contradiction between proclaims and deeds of the regime, particularly on the '88 massive execution of political prisoners, is the following. I heard myself, as a former Italian foreign minister, many statements at the openings of many general UN assemblies. Always the Iranian presidents have spoken on their full attachment to the UN values that first, as you all know, contemplates non-negotiable people's right to life and dignity. But, ladies and gentlemen, Madam President, in practice, a regime having lost by far the popular support applies for the rule of gun instead of rule of law. This is a sad reality for your people, for your compatriots. As it has been said, since September 2020, many requested to open finally, and they requested to the current High Commissioner for Human Rights, respected Madam Bachelet, to open finally an international investigation over the 88 massacre. Amnesty International made a similar request and rightly added that the current presidential role in Iran is in no way possible justification for an exemption from the investigation. So I agree completely, having myself a judge with this point of view. I wish finally an independent international investigation with no limitations linked to the role, current or former role, will be open. The same was confirmed by the respected UN Special Rapporteur on the human rights in Iran. So, ladies and gentlemen, the credibility of United Nations system is at stake now. I will be a bit brutal, but I can afford to be a bit brutal before such a tragedy and crime against humanity, because Iran uses to act against the key value of United Nations human rights rule, while before the TVs at the UN General Assembly affirms the opposite. But, ladies and gentlemen, Madam President, universal right promotion and protection cannot, and I say so also as a former European Vice President and Justice Commissioner, as well as the founder of the European Fundamental Rights Agency, I say right promotion does not belong to the arbitrium of the party concerned. We need independency in the investigation. Iran obviously never will accept the rules of the UN International Criminal Court for crimes against humanity. But so, United Nations Security Council has, in my personal view, first a moral duty. UN owes its moral duty to the innocent victims, and the duty is to try to send the case to the Hague Court. Let's seek for justice. If that would be proved impossible, at least let go ahead now with a serious investigation, international investigation, and of course, this never will bring the victims' resurrection, unfortunately. But, ladies and gentlemen, the UN credibility would be, in this case, tremendously stronger. And the same applies for our Europe, for my country, Italy, for our Europe. We used to call ourselves the land of rights. Is the right moment to show that to the rest of the world now. Thank you very much.